All right, anyway, hopefully I can wake y'all up just a little bit and not make it boring. Just a few years ago when someone died in a car wreck, with fire, obviously with fire killed him and he was a firefighter, I was like, why do these guys not all have fire extinguishers? I grew up, my dad was a race car driver, and I just thought everybody had them. And then I went online, and of course I sell race car parts for a living, and I realized that not everybody did have them, and there was very little information out there. So today I just want to tell you about fire suppression systems in general, but I will focus on Firebottle. I am a Firebottle dealer, so I mean, they're obviously, it's all connected. But first thing to know about fire suppression today is it's not like your fire extinguishers of old where it's just a bunch of foam and it's going to get everywhere. It's a chemical called Fe36, and that's why I've got this little video. We're just going to watch literally like 6 seconds of it. So you can see on here, it's a liquefied gas. And when this comes out, what it does is it sucks the oxygen out of the room. And so it just takes away that opportunity. Fire has no fuel, it can't burn. And then it's perfectly safe. And the thing about fire is it takes 5 times more oxygen for a fire to be able to burn than it does for a human to breathe. So you're not going to worry about, like, your driver is not going to suffocate because we're like sucking the air out of the room. And then when it comes to systems, there's a few things to know. Then one thing would be whether you want a 5-pound bottle or a 10-pound bottle. Now they've even come out with like little 2.5-pound bottles. All of the poundage refers to the amount of chemical that's in the bottle. I mean, I'd be happy to pass this around. You can tell well, this is empty. It doesn't have anything in it. It's just a dummy bottle. But when you add in the chemical, it would be probably, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 pounds, something like that. It's on my website. But the things to know about this is you can order them as automatic or manual. So a manual means that if the car's on fire, you've got a pull cord and you can pull it and it's going to set off the system. This one happens to be this is the one that's approved for, that was mandated by like Lucas Oil and World Racing Group. This is it's called the AMRC 1002. If anybody ever needs that information, it's the Lucas Oil system is what I call it on my website. But this one's both automatic and manual. And what the automatic part means is that these right here, these lines that are already connected with the little pink things, when I take this off, there's a little piece of glass in here, and this glass at 170 degrees will automatically break. And when that glass breaks, it'll just set off the system. So it's just going to go. And there's 3 areas you want to protect. Of course, the fuel cell area, and that's what this shorter one is generally for the fuel cell area. And then you want to get the engine compartment and the driver, of course, because that's the most important part of that whole setup. So with this one, you've got the automatic lines, and then you can also run manual lines. And this really works out well when you're like when the fuel cell goes, and it starts on fire and you guys can't see it. I don't think any of y'all have any rear view mirrors in there. This way you're protected. And then it's something else to know is how you want to mount these. So sometimes you see guys that'll put these on like straight up and down. That's okay. It's not the best thing because the problem is how these feed. It has like a straw in here that draws from the bottom. So if you end up upside down, then it can't get to that's a liquefied gas. It can't get to the liquid. So the better way to install this is somehow on its side. Some guys do it, towards like front to back with the car, or side to side, maybe above the fuel cell. Any of those are good orientation because even if you end up upside down, then you still have access to the chemical and you're not going to have a problem with it going off. Well, I have one other another product to show you guys too that has to do with fire suppression. And if you think of any other fire suppression questions, definitely let me know. But how many of you have heard of the Willy's rollover plates? A couple of you guys have? Great. I'm going to go ahead and pass one of these around and I'll talk about the other one. So what these are is that one of the things, back to being upside down, one of the big problems is that your carburetor, of course, all that fuel is going to start pouring out of your carburetor. And then you're close to the headers. And then you can end up with having a fire even though you didn't have a problem or a fire before. You could because of the fuel that's coming out of the carburetor. What this does, it's a very, very simple in concept, but when you are upside down, this has little stainless steel plates in here. When this goes upside down, it blocks that off so no fuel comes out of that carburetor. And I have another video clip that I can show you guys with that too. And there we go. This will make a little bit more sense. So you can see from Willy's, he's got this carburetor upside down right now. And you're like, well, so what, right? It's probably empty. Yeah, it's not. That's how the rollover plates work. So this way, when you're upside down, blocks off that fuel, you have nothing to feed that fire. And so I've got one of those coming around, but I'll let you guys pass that around. Yeah, it just goes between your metering block and the carburetor, right there. So the blue that you can see on the screen there. Oh, if I was blocking the screen, I apologize. But that blue area, of course, is the rollover plate. So that's another way of preventing fire, just preventing a problem before it even starts.
If you like what we're doing here, hit that subscribe button.